1 whole year. 1 entire year practicing the Wim Hof Method. Oh man. A year ago, I tried it out. Gave it a try, just to see how it felt. And I just told myself, I committed. I said, I'm going to do this for 1 year. Every day, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the breathing. I'm going to do the cold. And I'm just gonna see what happens. It was like a little experiment almost. But I committed to a year, which at the time, I don't usually commit to stuff like that for that amount of time, but I did. I said a year, I'm going to do it. And before long, I mean, I wanted to do it. It didn't take long. There was, but I had that thing in my head. Those days when I was like, oh, I don't feel like doing the breathing. Oh, it's so cold out. I don't want to take an ice bath. Ugh. I was like, oh, but you promised. You said you would do it every year. So that somehow that kept me going. That power of the mind, the commitment part. That was like the first thing I set to do. And so that, I think, really kept me going, was that I just told myself, I'm gonna do it for a year. And I succeeded. And the changes that occurred are unbelievable. Unbelievable to me. To the outside world, I have no idea. I don't know how much you can tell. I cleaned my house. You see on the outside, it's the same thing. But on the inside, whoa, things have happened. First of all, I'm so much more happy and just excited about everything that's going on all the time. I'm all about, doing stuff now. Where I used to, just be miserable, pissed off at stuff, just the way everybody kind of is. Anxiety. Ooh, I get anxiety, man. Little stuff, big stuff, all the stuff. Anxiety would come in. It wasn't panic attacks. It wasn't debilitating, but it was, ugh. I remember going to parties. And of course, I'm fine. Then I'm pulling up, and I'm like, oh, getting closer. The little butterflies, the little, just that little bit of, And I'm like, why is this? Why? What is the reason? But it would creep up, and I'd have to deal with it. Ugh. That's gone. Gone. Don't care. Stress. Oh my God. I can handle stress so much better. It used to be any little thing would just tear me down. Totally. I'd be like, look, that's it. Like, I can't handle it, so let me just, freak out. Now, when it's something stupid, I'm just aware of it, like, oh, well, that's not even a problem. And when it's a real stressful situation, I just simply handle it. In that moment, I handle the situation. If it's something I need to deal with, then I deal with it. And then when it's over, it's over. I don't sit there and keep it with me and continue to stress over it and think, what could I have done differently? Oh my God, everything's, it's just effortlessly fine. So, boom, took care of stress. Boom, took care of anxiety. Even the mental clarity has become just, I'm not perfect. I still have thoughts and things, but compared to how it was, I don't have thoughts just running through my head all day long, all the time. And when they do come in, I recognize them. And I go, oh, I'm thinking about 3 years ago when I said something to this guy and how embarrassing it was. And, oh my God, it's like, why am I thinking this? What am I doing with that? Why did that just come in? Stupid. Goodbye. Or just even anything. Anything. I can see it. I can recognize it. And I don't need it to stay there anymore. It can go. Mental clarity. Amazing. One of the biggest things, though, has been this willpower, this amazing thing. Every morning, I get the opportunity to face this icy cold water, and I step up and I tell myself I'm going in there. I'm voluntarily going in there. And oh man, the resistance is like, don't do it. But I have the strength where I'm like, I'm gonna do it. And so, I step in, and then, it's cold. But the power just from that decision to go in, I take that with me. When I have to go into other uncomfortable situations and do things that I don't want to do, I remember back, I'm like, man, there was a frozen water, and I took a hammer and I bashed it open, and it's freezing out, and the wind's blowing and the snow's coming down, and I cracked through, and then I went in there and I sat there, and and then I calmed down. Freaking amazing. I never thought I'd be able to do anything like that, but I did, and that carries over into regular life. The breathing, the breathing was really hard in the beginning. I didn't know. My chest hurt, my belly hurt, because all of a sudden I'm like inflating my body, and I wasn't used to that. I always had a hard time breathing. Running, getting out of breath, yoga. Once I get into a pose, I just want to stop breathing. The breathing part was always so hard. So to all of a sudden do this breathing exercise, it was taxing on me. And my retention times were so low in the beginning, and I was obsessed with the timer. I'm like, come on, I gotta do it. I was like at 40 seconds. I was happy when I got to a minute. It was hard. And then I tried to watch as many videos as possible, people doing it different ways, instruction on it, and I'm just like, okay, I gotta chill out. I gotta stop timing myself and just go with the flow. And then everything got so much better. I started to enjoy the breathing. Retention times went up, not crazy high, but they're in the range where they need to be. And I feel good. I used to kind of force the hold, a couple more seconds, I'd be checking. Now, when I gotta breathe, I just breathe. If it's low that day, fine. If I go way up, it's fine. Most of the time I don't know. I don't really time it anymore. It just ruins it. Once in a while I do, just to see where I'm at. I actually timed myself this morning. I was like, yes, I'm in the zone, perfect. But otherwise, it takes away from the meditative part of it. So I ditched the timer. Same with the cold. I became obsessed with getting that cold in, and the time I spent in the cold, and then I'd feel bad if I didn't spend enough time, and I'd go and see what other people did. I'm like, oh my god, this guy was in an ice bath for 10 minutes, I made it 1 minute today. But then, holy crap, I was in there for a minute in freezing cold water. That is an accomplishment. No ego. We go. So, biggest advice is do not become obsessed with the times, whether it's the retention times, or the time in the cold, or how cold it is. And don't rush it. That's another thing. I started with cold showers in September, and here in New Jersey, it's not that cold at that time. So, it slowly got colder and colder and colder, and so I kind of progressed nicely, easing into the cold. I bought an ice bath. Same thing. I just kind of, I kept it outside. I didn't really add ice. I just let nature do whatever. And it just got colder and colder and colder. And I remember one of the first times where like there was ice on it, and it was, I didn't measure, I don't know what the temperature was, but it was, it was really cold. And I was like, whoa, this is different than those cold showers. This is getting into the icy coldness. And then there was one freak day where temperatures just plummeted below freezing in November, and there was ice, and I had to hammer through the ice and go in, and that was a shock. I was like, whoa, like what did I get myself into? This is a new level of cold. But I was able to ease into it. You don't want to just jump right into ice, cold water. So definitely take it slow. Go easy with the breathing. Go easy on yourself. There's no rush. It's fine. You really don't want to just jump in. But I gotta say, the biggest... I'm like trailing off here. Another thing, an amazing thing after a year, every winter, no matter what, I get sick. I get sinuses, and I got a head cold, and I'm sick. It's a guarantee, several times. And I made it the whole winter without getting sick with a cold or a flu. I did, well, first of all, I did have symptoms of something coming on. And I know the feeling, and normally I go, that's it, I'm getting sick, so might as well just put on the TV and lay here because I'm sick. And this time I said no. And I did extra breathing as much as I could. I did extra rounds, extra breaths per round, just and focusing, imagining that I'm just, getting it out of wherever, if it was pressure in my sinuses or wherever it was in my throat, just focused, and sure enough, I never got fully sick. I did, however, get two kind of nasty stomach things going on, and I almost feel like it was unavoidable that I needed to get stuff out of my body, so that needed to happen. But they came and went pretty quickly for what it was. I can't know for sure, but I just felt like if I wasn't doing this, it would have lasted a lot longer and been more severe. So those two things, those two times I had that, pretty quick. And it's not easy doing the breathing with that. Oh, and those, so for a year, I did the breathing every day. Did not miss one day. The cold, however, if I felt like I was getting sick, and the times when I was sick with the stomach stuff, I did not go into the cold. It's very much recommended to not go in and stress your body further. So those are the only times I didn't do it. Otherwise, cold shower, ice bath, something. So the Wim Hof Method. It's funny. It's a weird, strange thing. And it turns you into this weirdo because it's just not normal, at least where I am. Nobody else is doing it. It's just me, alone. I'm out at the park, there's snow on the ground, it's freezing cold out, and I'm running in shorts, no shoes, no shirt, and people are looking at me. I go down to the beach, people bundled up, like walking their dog, or a couple people out there, and I'm stripping down and I'm going in the water, and everybody, is looking at me and stuff. You just have to not care and go for it. And luckily, the method helps with really not caring what anybody thinks and giving you the confidence. For instance, I'm making YouTube videos Me. That's crazy. I mean, this is right now. I mean, right now, this is crazy that I'm doing this. I would never do this. I would hide. I would hide somewhere where no one can see me or know what I'm doing. Just gotta hide. Now, out in the world, just so everyone can see. But the reason, the big, it's amazing I can do this. It's thanks to the Wim Hof Method. The reason I'm doing it is because I did this thing. I found this thing, the Wim Hof Method, and it helped me in so many places in my life. How can I not share that? How can I? It's my responsibility to make sure that I share this as much as I can. And I want to be open and honest about, it's not exactly some miracle cure, although it seems to have been for some people. But it's magic. I mean, it's like sorcery. There is something that, and meanwhile, it's just nature. It's the way we're supposed to be exposed to stuff. We're supposed to breathe. We live in this artificial environment that's just killing us. But coming from this modern world and looking at the Wim Hof Method, it's weird and it's hard. Let me tell you something. Some people will say, oh, I love the cold and it's easy and it's just breathing. No, it is not just breathing. You are laying down and you're doing this thing. If you're not used to doing that, that's a task. But you gotta just do it. The cold. I still feel the cold. It's still cold. There is no getting around it. And I don't want to be out in the cold all the time. I love hot showers. I love in the winter, after I took my ice bath, I went outside barefoot in the snow. I did all my cold. I love taking a hot shower at night, full-blown hot. Sometimes I end on a little bit of cold. Sometimes I don't. And then getting into my bed, and oh, it's so warm. I love it. I appreciate it so much more than ever. Every comfort that I have in the world, I can appreciate so much more. So much more. So, don't think you need to become, there's a time and a place to do the breathing, to do the cold, but just know that it will change your breathing pattern. You will just naturally, throughout the day, breathe differently. You will be able to go outside as long as you focus. You'll be able to just go outside in the cold and it's not really gonna bother you in the same way. It's gonna feel cold, but your relationship, the thing in your head that tells you that it's uncomfortable, it's just gonna be different. You're just gonna be okay with it. If you don't have that mental focus, if you don't go out there, because there's been times when, I guess I don't know, it's at night, I'm all comfortable, I'm like, oh, I gotta run out to my car. So I'm not gonna bundle up to run out to my car. I don't do that anymore. I really don't. There's no need. So I run out there and I'm like, ooh, it's cold, ooh, and I come back outside and I'm like, it was only cold because I allowed my mind to make it cold. If I had gone, okay, I'm going, it's like when I go into the ice bath, I know I'm going in. I'm making that decision. So if I had made that decision and focused, I would have been fine. So again, like Wim always says, it's not about the breathing, it's not about the cold, it is about the mind. And that's the goal to get there. And the breathing and cold are just kind of like tools to get there. So, after a year, I have to say that I am going to, well, I already decided this long ago, but the year thing was it was a thing I committed to, so okay. But I knew long ago I'm gonna do this the rest of my life. Now that the year's over though, I feel like the pressure is off with going into the ice bath every single day, or doing cold like every single day, or even the breathing. I don't know. I feel like the pressure's off, and yet I know I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna do it every single day. But I won't stress when I can't do it. You know, if I'm, you know, who knows. But yeah, if you're thinking about doing it, or if you have been practicing for a short amount of time, or if you're on and off, and just tell yourself you're gonna do it, and you can do it, and then you can take that and you can do other stuff. Maybe you want to start, you know, eating better, and it's hard because you're always like, just tell yourself to do it, and you can do it. If you need to start exercising, or whatever it is, you can do it. I mean, you know, you guys don't know my background, but I would never do anything like this. There's just no way I would ever do anything quite like this. I never thought, I've been to polar plunges where they all go in the freezing cold water, and I'm like, nope, never, not in a million years. You know, there's just no way. But Wim, his accomplishments, the science behind it, and even the way he speaks of it, he is convincing. The whole thing is convincing. That's the only reason I started it. So, without all that, I mean, the science, that kind of speaks for itself. And you know, but his way of speaking about it, his story, I mean, it is inspiring. And I'm just like, there's something here. And then once I did it, like he always says, feeling is understanding. And when I started to feel it and getting in touch with myself and feeling good, I knew this is something really important, and it's worth doing. It is worth it. So that's my take on it. That's what I have to say after doing it for a year. Ooh, this is a long video. If you made it to the end, amazing. I can't believe you put up with me this long. Thank you. I hope this was helpful. I put this stuff out there to be helpful. It helped me in the beginning to hear everybody's stories, to see people going into the freezing cold water, to see people doing the breathing. I mean, I don't know how many videos I've watched. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. And they were so helpful. So if I can pass that on, great. But just know, all of this, the whole thing, everything, it's all in your mind. It's all in your mind. So work on that. You work on that, you get that straight, everything else is easy. And never think. Never think there's a goal. Never think there's an end. Because I'm nowhere near where I want to be. But then I got to remember, I'm never going to be there. It's always going to be work. You're always going to be working on that and shaping it and keeping it up. You don't just get somewhere and that's it. So, you know, go easy on yourself, but stay disciplined at the same time. Kind of a weird thing there, but yeah, so thank you for watching.